I'm making crostatas. They're apple. Of course, that one has ice cream. I'm making the caramel sauce. It's out of the Sugar Cube cookbook. I visited it when we were in Portland, and this is the sugar, butter, salt, lemon juice, and I just put in half a vanilla bean. So it's bubbling up. This is just for Tammy, right? Because it's so healthy. And I've cut up and halved, well, I've halved, that's cutting up, cored and peeled apples. Can't remember, I used something. Drop it. They are Rayburn. I like Rayburn and Gala when I have to buy apples, and I feel silly buying apples because we grow them, but it's the end of the spring. So this is to get a nut brown, and then I'll put the apple halves down, face down in it, and keep putting the caramel sauce over it. And then I have the pie crust in the refrigerator. Here, I'll make you dizzy. Here is the pie crust on top of my leftover spaghetti. And I yesterday rendered lard, so there's the lard that I could use in it. Leaf lard from pork that surrounds the kidneys. It's the best lard there is. I've never cooked with lard, but it's supposed to make wonderful biscuits, and pie crust make them really flaky. This is getting ready. It's starting to get tan. Let's see what it says in here. Till the mixture is bubbly and turns light. Okay, I set my white balance to auto white balance. I always call it all white balance. But anyway, the apples are in. Here's the vanilla bean. It's split, and so the seeds are around. So I cooked this for 5 minutes on this side, and I'm supposed to be spooning the caramel over the top. And then I'll flip them and cook the other side for 5 minutes. I've turned down the heat to number 2, can you tell? So that I don't get the caramel any darker. And it cooks. Then I'm going to remove them and put them on a plate. Yes, I love blue willow, blue and white. And let them cool. And then I will work out my dough and remove the chilled dough, and then I will do the oven. Looks like 400, and I will tell you as I go. See, now I've flipped them over, and they do another 5 minutes, and it turns out they're going to cook more in the oven, so we want them to stay firm and not be applesauce crostatas. So I'm going to go hang up some laundry, and I'll be right back. Well, I gotta say, you know I've been making soap, and I've been making bread. I just told you I did the leaf lard from pork fat. From the kidneys is the leaf lard. Anyway, Mom gave me her spinning wheel. So I'm going to learn how to spin. She'd done this, and now she can't remember how she did it. So I've been on the internet, and I'm learning the parts and the names. I still need to clean it up a bit. You have to keep it out of the sunshine so that the wheel doesn't warp. And she gave me a bunch of wool, but the moths got to it, so I had to pitch that. So I'll be finding some wool sometime. And I don't know when I'm really going to find that wool, so don't be asking, we want to watch you spin. But when I do spin, I'll show you. So let's get back to our crostatas. Oh, Lord, I wish you could smell this. Butter, vanilla, sugar, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of salt, and the timer just rang, so I'm going to take them out, and they're way too hot. I'm not going to burn myself, so I'm going to put them on the plate, and then I'll show them to you. So there are the apples. They're cooling. Here is the caramel sauce, and I'm going to put in, look at the size of this, Tammy. Half gallon, a half and half. Anyway, I'm going to put some, it's nice to have on hand. Let's see if I can keep this in view. I'm going to pour a little bit in here and make caramel sauce. I have no idea how much to put in, so here goes a bunch. I'm going to stir that up. Oh, let's turn it up. Let's put it on number 4. Can you see that's number 4? I love these cast iron pans. I have a friend that has asked me, well, how do you clean it? How do you use it? Why does this look like it's curdling? Crap. Well, let's boil it. Turn that baby up. And I use it all the time. And once you season it, it's just like Teflon or something, only you don't have that horrible Teflon stuff on you. This pan I've had our whole married life. John probably had it before that, so we've been together 39 years. Oh, this looks terrible. Well, great. I have on camera stuff curdling. We will try it some more. Alright, we got a good boil going to it. It's the acid or whatever from the apples that made the cream curdle. So I'm just going to boil the heck out of it. Improvise, right? So I'm going to stir that baby up. I'm going to add more cream to it once it gets all bubbly and toil and trouble. God, that's me now, huh? I feel like I'm back in the 30s. I retire and I go to the 1930s and 1940s. I'm reading that It's No Ordinary Time. I should pull it out and show you. See, now I'm going to turn it down from 6 to, I'll leave it at 4. Anyway, I'm reading about the Roosevelts, and oh boy, this smells good. Gosh, have you guys smelled butter and sugar? Look at that steam. Oh my Lord, that's good. That'll get rid of some of the extra water. I'm going to go get the cream. See, the cream's going to stop all this bubbling. Here it goes. I can't even see what I'm doing because I'm looking through the viewfinder. Oh, yummy. Then I'm going to pour this over the little pies when I'm done. I'll look at it curdle, but I don't care. I'm going to boil this sucker. Doesn't that fix everything? Just like eyeliner, right? It still smells good. It may not look pretty, but it'll still smell good. John eats anything. I've never made this before. Can you tell? John was griping because every time I have company, I make something new. He goes, "Why don't you make something you know how how it turns out?" And I go, "Well, I read the recipe and I kind of know how it's going to turn out. Looks like gravy, doesn't it?" All right, we're going to let that boil some more, and then I'll decide about more cream or not. See, look, it's not curdled anymore. It just needs stirring. Those are all bubbles on the top. I'm going to thicken it a little more, all that apple juice that's in it, and then I'll cool it, and it will go on the top, just like this. Yum. Oh, I can taste it now. Well, I'm going to finish that, let stuff cool off, then I slice the apples, fan them out, roll out my crust. I use a 5-inch round plate, and anyway, I cut out the pastry, and then I'll put the apple, lay it there so it looks still like the apple, but you can see the slices, and then you bake it, and then you eat it. Yum yum. So now I poured out the caramel. There it is. Made it just about a cup. The apples are still cooling. And this is what I'm reading, No Ordinary Time by Doris Kearns Goodwin. Yeah, it's really good, and I'm only that far. But, wow, and so I was talking to Mom about Eleanor and stuff, or both of them and stuff, and she said she was quite a woman. I can't remember how she said that, but she said she made quite an impression on Mom, and Mom's now 92. Anyway, that's so far where we're at. I'm going to go eat lunch. So here are the apples all sliced up, ready to go into the little tarts. And let's go over to the fridge. So I've rolled out the scraps. So I've rolled out the dough, those are the scraps. And I used this for a pattern. And I'm going to freeze these. I put a little plastic over them. I'm going to freeze them. I'm going to make these into some kind of free form and put them on another pan. So now these go into the freezer for a while. So here is a cold. These are the scraps I put together. They're chilled. And this one's crammed way up here. There goes the door. There are the shells that I'm going to shape for these guys. So let me go read the instructions and see what I'm supposed to do next. So next I take 1 teaspoon of this, the apricot preserves, and I'm just going to use this guy, and I put it in there, and then I put an apple on it, and then I fold up the edges. So let me do that. So now I fold it up. They said if it was too stiff after being cold, you can warm them up a little bit to room temperature, but not any more than 5 minutes because then they'd be too soft. So now I'm supposed to freeze them for 30 minutes, and then I preheat the oven for 400 degrees and bake until golden brown, 20 to 25 minutes. So then I melt some remaining apricot preserves, and cool slightly, and then brush the tops of apples with melted preserves and serve warm with ice cream. Well, don't have the ice cream, so Tammy's going to be proud of me for that. But I'm going to put the caramel sauce on that we made. So, into the freezer. Before I froze them, I consolidated the pan. I love these Silpats. Then you don't have to use parchment paper or anything. Okay, now they're going in the freezer. So here's the guys, frozen. I just got them out. I guess we better go all the way in the shade. Maybe that helps. Now I'm going to brush them with some half and half, because that's what I had. It said cream, so half and half's cream, right? So I'm going to brush and make a mess, and not have the camera in the right place. And brush. I'm going to finish here. So now that I've made that mess, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of... I'm supposed to have super fine sugar, so I won't use my raw sugar or my organic. I'll just use regular, because that's all I have. And so there, we sprinkle it on. Make sure we get enough for Tammy. That'll be good. You can hear my oven preheating to 400. And then they'll pop in. So I have 31 seconds until my oven's preheated, and I guess most of the noise is coming from my microwave of my dinner, which is my leftover spaghetti. So here these go to the oven. Let's see if I can do this. It's quick enough, and I'm going to put them down low. Put them in the center. Hope that shows. And remember to set my timer for how long? 20 to 25 minutes. So you always start out with the shorter so that you don't burn. Well, I turned into a shark and I ate it without showing you guys. Here's the caramel sauce, and here's the finished, guys, without the caramel sauce drooled over the top. And they were wonderful. These crusts are amazing. I used 2 tablespoons of leaf lard and half a cup of butter, and that leaf lard just makes it so flaky and wonderful. I froze them before I baked them, so the bottom crust isn't soggy at all, and when you drizzle that lovely caramel sauce over the top, they're really good. So I hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.